You're watching KSL Sports Live.
NHL in Utah. What a great ring that has to it.
This is truly a community asset, and it is for the community.
The pillars are the same for us, which are, we want to bring a championship. We want to bring a Stanley Cup to Utah, obviously.
Welcome to Salt Lake City, NHL. We cannot wait to be your partners.
What a week. Ice is down at Delta Center, and Utah just got a whole lot cooler.
Yes, it did. Thanks for joining us as we wrap up a week we will never forget. More on the NHL coming to Utah, why the NHL chose here, what Ryan Smith plans to do for an arena, and what the players think about moving to Utah.
Yeah, plus a big week for BYU basketball. Phoenix Suns assistant Kevin Young introduced as the new head coach there. Danny Ainge tells us what the Jazz plans are for the rebuild this offseason, and a look at a couple more locals getting ready for this week's NFL draft.
I love NFL draft week too. But we begin with the NBA playoffs. The NBA has never had more competitive balance. Only 10 games in the regular season standings separated the 8 teams who made the playoffs in the Western Conference.
And besides Boston, only 4 games separated teams 2 through 8 in the East. Will that make for competitive postseason? Well, so far it hasn't been the best. 8 teams won the first game in their series for the first time in 11 years, and only 2 games were decided by 10 points or less.
Yep, every home team won in the first game. And in game 1 between the Pacers and Bucks,
Damian Lillard showing hoops fans everywhere. He's still got plenty of juice left. Final seconds of the first quarter, drills that 30-footer, 19 points in the quarter. Late second quarter, Dame with the off-balance 3 plus 1, 4-point play. He scored all 35 of his points in the first half. Giannis Antetokounmpo was out with that calf strain. No problem for the Bucks. They win game 1, 109-94. Chris Middleton added 23 points, 10 rebounds. Game 2 on Tuesday.
35-point half, a Bucks record. Boston Celtics seeking revenge against the team that ended their season last year, the Miami Heat. Third straight playoff meeting between these two teams. Jaylen Brown starting the series off right with the spin move, then the dunk. Jason Tatum had a big day with his first playoff triple-double. It's a steal and a tough layup. Kristaps Porzingis has been a great addition. Step back, fade away. Celtics are going to be tough to beat. Boston runs away with this one in game 1, 114-94. They jumped out to a 17-2 lead, led by as much as 34, and never trailed. Game 2 is Wednesday in Boston.
All right, so let's head over to the Western Conference. Top-seeded Oklahoma City hosting the Pelicans. This was the best game of the weekend. Under 2 minutes to play, Thunder down 2. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander knocks down the jumper to tie the game up at 90. Then, with just over 30 seconds left, SGA is at it again, drives, off-balance bucket and the foul. That would give OKC the 93-90 lead. Pelicans get the last possession, though. Down 2. CJ McCollum nearly loses the ball. He gets it back, gets a shot off for the win, but that wasn't a great look, and he misses. The Thunder survived Game 1, 94-92. SGA led all scorers with 28. Chet Holmgren had 15 points, 11 rebounds, 5 blocks. Game 2, not till Wednesday.
All right, we thought this was going to be a great series. The 4 versus 5 in the West, the Clippers and Mavericks. Game 1 in LA was all Clippers. James Harden led the way with 28 points. He made 6 threes. Russell Westbrook out here throwing down alley-oops. Feels like 2014, not 2024. Kyrie Irving heated on the bench. Mavericks frustrated. They never led and trailed by as much as 29. The Clippers take game 1. Luka Doncic had 33 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and Kyrie Irving had 31. But only one other Dallas player scored in double figures, P.J. Washington with 11. They'll have to do better than that in game 2 on Tuesday.
This is another one of those moments where it's like, where were you when NHL came to Utah?
The pillars are the same for us, which are, we want to bring a championship. We want to bring a Stanley Cup to Utah, obviously.
A Stanley Cup championship in Utah before this week? That was crazy talk. Now, the dream begins. April 18th, 2024, a day that will go down in Utah sports history. The day Utah was given an NHL franchise. It became official Thursday as Smith Entertainment Group purchased a new franchise for $1.2 billion.
Nice to have that kind of money around. You know, it all happened fast, too. But if anyone is up to the challenge, it's this state and this ownership group. Ryan and Ashley told Commissioner Bettman at the press conference that they know this job is a big one. They said they're up to that task, and the task of pursuing championships, but also the task of bringing a great fan experience to this state. Ashley said that bringing this team to Utah wasn't just a Smith thing. It's coming to Utah because of the people here. This is all of our team.
And to unite us all. And finding just more love, more ways to come together in a world that's very, very divisive, that we all get to come together around basketball and we all get to come together around hockey.
And this is truly a community asset, and it is for the community.
Many critics outside of the state questioned whether Utah could support an NHL team. That doubt has to be dead now, right? In the first 28 hours after the NHL voted to approve the sale of the Coyotes to Smith Entertainment Group, 22,700 season ticket deposits had been placed. That number likely still growing, well beyond capacity at Delta Center.
To hear that there are deposits for over 22,000 season tickets is a little gratifying, don't you think? And as I said, it's a great problem to have.
We want as much demand as we can get, and we'll figure out how to help. I think our arena will open up with 16,200. There'll be 12,000 that have perfect views.
Well, it was from 1991 through 97 that the Salt Lake Golden Eagles and the Utah Grizzlies called Delta Center their home. Preseason NHL hockey games, they've been played there as well over the past few recent years. And if you've ever been to a hockey game there, well, then you know it's really not that ideal of an arena for the sport. It was, after all, built for basketball. Ryan Smith, he knows that too. He admitted Thursday that he originally wanted to build a new arena away from downtown to house both the Jazz and the hockey team. But plans have changed, and over the next 2 years, the arena, it will be modified to comfortably seat 17,500 hockey fans with a clear view.
I was challenged by both commissioners to look at it differently. We've been incredibly creative with how we've looked at it. We have one of the best basketball arenas on the planet. Nothing should change, but we're using new technology to figure out, to be able to turn from hockey to basketball and back and forth.
I've been assured by a number of the local leaders that we'll have no arena drama, and based on where we came from, I'd prefer no arena drama.
Was part of this massive movement to reimagine downtown to something that we all can be proud of. And being able to look back 30 years from now and saying, that's the center of Salt Lake City. That's the center of Utah.
Hey, well, you know, arguably the most exciting postseason sports is Stanley Cup playoffs. That could be here soon. Game one between the Avs and Jets, high-scoring first period. That's Nathan McKinnon lighting the lamp to give the Avs the 3-2 lead. The Jets tied up, though. Mark Scheifele scores to make it 3-3. Third period, Jets up 4-3. Adam Lowry, his second goal of the game, or is it? They had to review this, but the puck you'll see right there did cross the line. 5-3 Jets. The Jets built a 7-4 lead. The Avs did make a late push. Casey Middlestat scores to make it a one-goal game with 30 seconds left, but they ran out of time. Avs dropped game one, 7-6.
In the East, Lightning and Panthers begin their series in Miami. First period, Panthers' Sam Reinhart deflects the puck in. Panthers take a 1-0 lead. Later in the first, the Lightning get on the board. Brandon Hagel puts in the rebound, and we're all tied up at 1. We go to the third period, same score, Matthew Tkachuk to Carter Verhaeghe in front of the goal. Panthers take game one, 3-2. All right, now to the NBA. Before we got caught up in the excitement of the NHL coming to Utah, we got to hear from Utah Jazz CEO Danny Ainge this week. He spent 40 minutes with the media on Tuesday taking questions about the season and what should be a significant offseason for the franchise. Short-term pain for long-term gain. We know patience is required if you want to build a championship roster in the NBA, but that doesn't make it easy for fans to take 2 straight losing seasons with no relief in sight, which is why it's important for Danny to address the rebuild and where it stands. How aggressive will the Jazz be this offseason to take that next step? Danny's ready with a hunting license.
I think that our objective is to, find a player or two, and we're ready to roll. We're ready to go big game hunting. And that hasn't happened in the last 2 years. But if we start all over, then we're 3 years possibly or 4 years from being anywhere. We feel like we're closer than that.
We did get a glimpse of the future during a 31-51 season. Plenty of minutes for rookies and young talent. Most of all, we saw a lot of Keontae George in a lot of different situations. The 20-year-old point guard averaged 13 points and 4 assists in 75 games and shot 33% from three.
Learning to run pick and rolls, he's like way better now than he was to start the season. I'm still not sure he's a franchise point guard, but I think he can play point guard. But I think that he can play with another guard playing the point, and he can play off the ball too. Matter of fact, he's probably more comfortable at that at this moment in time. But this experience of learning the point guard position was a big step for him.
All right, baseball. Bees having a rough week hosting the Reno Aces. It looked like they would end the week strong with 6 runs in the first inning. Already up 2-1. Chad Wallach wallops this one over the fence in the first inning. A 3-run shot to give the Bees a 5-1 lead. Next batter, Elliot Soto, yard. Back-to-back home runs, 6-1 Bees. But unfortunately, they could not hold on to that lead. The Aces score 6 straight runs to tie it, and Andres Chaparro, 8th inning home run, wins it. Bees are in Round Rock next week.
How about we head to the big league diamond? The Rockies hosting the Mariners in interleague play. Game 1 of a doubleheader came down to a scoreless tie in the 9th. Looks like Jacob Stallings just walked it off with the homer. But they would call fan interference. And the inning is over. We go to extras. It's tied at 1 in the 10th. Ryan McMahon hits the hard one to the left side. It's mishandled. That's a walk-off winner, though. 2-1 over the Mariners.
All right, we have to take a quick break. Another great night for Real Salt Lake and Chicho Arango.
Plus, Scotty Scheffler continues to dominate the PGA Tour.
We're not going to be able to do it alone. This is a community asset. It's for everyone.
That's Sam having a conversation with the newest owner in the NHL, Ryan Smith. And we take a trip back through Utah's long and proud hockey history. Boy, the 80s were a lot of fun, weren't they?
As soon as you put on the tape, this guy just moves you. Here, I'm like, oh my God. Look at this. Boom!
Yeah. The NFL draft is 4 days away now. Are you ready? We'll help you get a little closer to that as we take a look at a couple more locals and BYU introducing their new basketball coach. That's when KSL Sports Live continues.
You're watching KSL Sports Live.
All right, we jump back into the show with our Any Hour Services play of the day from Aggie legend Justin Bean. My goodness, he's playing pro ball in Germany and throwing down poster alley-oops in the process. Bean had 11 points, 10 rebounds in Alba Berlin's win. They are second place in the basketball Bundesliga standings.
The thing that really moved the needle for me and my wife was the environment that we're going to be doing it in here at BYU. What this university stands for, what the mission of this university is. I'm a lifelong member of the church, so to be able to do what I love at the highest level from a career standpoint and blend that with my faith and being able to do it with my wife and my 3 little ones, that's why we came here.
I didn't recognize Kevin without the beard. Looks good. I never thought I'd live to see the day that BYU paid a head coach $30 million. Well, I made it, and it's great news for BYU fans.
Yeah, it really is. You know, BYU's hired one of the top assistant coaches in the NBA, Kevin Young. He was the highest paid assistant in the NBA, and he was destined to land a head coaching job in the league sooner rather than later.
But he's not going to an NBA team. He's going to Provo, which is awesome for BYU. They're lucky to get him a 7-year contract worth $30 million, around $4.25 million per year. He'll need to learn the nuance of coaching in college, especially with NIL, recruiting, and the transfer portal. But he's one of the top offensive coaches in the NBA, a master communicator, and he's earned the respect of some of the biggest names in the sport. Now he brings that knowledge to BYU and his connections and hopes to help players get where he just came from, the NBA.
Coming from my background and talking to the players, you know, a lot of guys have, not a lot, all of them have ambition to play in the NBA, and I think with my background, this is an amazing place, has been for a long time. What I want to do to take it to the next level is make this place the best place in college basketball to prepare young men to play in the NBA. And I think with my background, I think we're going to be able to get that done.
Coach Young also has the challenge of building his program at BYU, which includes recruiting, fundraising, player development, all of that while he continues his role with the Phoenix Suns, at least through the end of their playoff run. His top priority in the meantime, though, retaining the players that are already in the program. With several of them in the transfer portal or already gone, that'll be a challenge.
cannot wait to have every one of you guys back in a BYU uniform and get to it. Make no mistake about it, that's my first priority is those guys, and I've already started building relationships with those guys, and we're going to take that part of it to a whole nother level. If I've learned anything in the NBA, it's about, this whole thing is about relationships.
One of those players that's gone is BYU center Ali Khalifa. He was in the portal, and now he has a new home. It's not Kentucky like many thought. Instead, well, it is Kentucky, but it's not in Lexington. He's going to join rival Louisville. Khalifa came to BYU after 2 seasons at Charlotte. He started in 26 games and was one of the nation's best passing big men and ranked 7th in the nation in assist-to-turnover ratio.
On Friday, running Utes guard Davon Smith entered the portal. Smith played just 1 season with the U, and he set the Pac-12 record for triple-doubles in a season with 5. He'll now be seeking his 4th college basketball home in his career, and according to reports on Saturday, Mark Pope and Kentucky have already reached out to gauge Smith's interest.
Now to the women's game. Alyssa Peely is an all-time great at Utah, an All-American that led the program back to the Sweet 16, the fastest Ute to 1,000 points in just 48 games. Now it's time for her to take the next step and represent Utah at the next level. She's now headed to the WNBA after getting drafted in the first round on Monday.
With the 8th pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Minnesota Lynx select Alyssa Peely.
Headed to Minneapolis, 8th overall to the Lynx. She's the 7th Utah player ever to be drafted, and at number 8, the second highest, behind only Shona Thorburn at number 7 in 2006.
And definitely the community in Salt Lake City. I think it's really grown on me the last 2 years I was there. And I'm going to miss it a lot because, even though I came from another Pac-12 school, they still took me with open arms and just supported me throughout everything.
All right, back to the ice where the NHL is taking over our state. There's interest from several large markets across North America about getting an NHL team, from Quebec to Charlotte to Houston and more than that. But the league chose Utah. I had the chance to chat briefly with Ryan Smith after Friday's press conference, and he told me what it means that the NHL did choose Utah.
Yeah, first of all, it's an exciting day. I think that I hope we understand the moment. I unfortunately probably don't have as much of a moment to inhale right now because we got a lot of work to do. I was up looking for practice facilities this morning and trying to land this team of 70, 80 people to Utah and welcome them. But I'm excited. The response so far with tickets and the community it's been incredible. And I think that a lot of times people look at market size and how many homes there are and subs in those homes. And reality is it's about the people, and our people show up. So I'm excited about that.
You talk about the work you have to get to. It's immediate, right? This is a big task. But you and Ashley and your group, you guys are ready to take on this task, finding a facility to practice in, building a front office, all those things. It's a lot.
It's a little daunting. The deal was daunting to get to this point, but it's all happened quick. And I think everyone's just going to take a deep breath and say, okay, we've got to do this. But at the same time, we've got a big summer in basketball, but we've got a lot of people in this community want to help. We're not going to be able to do it alone. This is a community asset. It's for everyone, and we're going to use everyone. We need everyone's help. We have an opportunity to have some, anything about 40, 50 more nights a year of professional sports here that's bringing people together, that's inspiring young kids. That's what this is about.
You mentioned the community. What does it say about our community, about the fans in Utah, the people of Utah, that the NHL trusts this community and trusts you guys with the franchise?
Oh, it says a lot. I think that our people should have a lot of confidence right now. I hope they have the same confidence that the league and the other governors have in them, because they all chose Utah. And it's not, Ash and I had a little bit to do with that, but the confidence level that it's gonna be successful is based on everyone in Utah, and that's pretty cool.
I think several years from now, every sports fan in Utah is going to remember the day when you brought the NHL to Utah. Wow. Thanks, Ryan.
We did.
Oh, we can't wait. All right, the NHL's new to Utah, but pro hockey? No. Hockey has a long and proud history in this state. Let's celebrate it tonight. Here's a look back on pro hockey's past in this state, all the way back to 1969 when it all started. The Salt Lake Golden Eagles made their debut in the Western Hockey League in 1969 at the old Salt Palace. They moved to the Central Hockey League in 1974 when they were purchased by the late, great Art Teese. Under his ownership, the Golden Eagles became champions. They went on to win 3 Adams Cup championships, 1975, and back-to-back titles in 1980 and 1981, led by Hall of Famer Joey Mullen.
It's just a tremendous feeling, especially to come back and see all these people here in Salt Lake and all the commotion in the airport and whatnot. It's a tremendous feeling.
Yeah! Feels great. This thing is just, I wanted to hold this thing so much, it's just incredible.
They joined the IHL in 1984 and won back-to-back Turner Cup titles in 1987 and 1988, which included star Theo Fleury.
Well, this is one of the most satisfying wins that I've ever enjoyed. You know, this is 5 pennants in hockey, and previous to that, 4 in baseball, and we're starting to make the Salt Palace look like the Boston Garden.
Teese sold the team to Larry H. Miller in 1989, and when the Delta Center was finished, the team began playing there. Their 25-year run came to an end when Miller sold the team in 1994 and they were moved to Detroit. There was no pro hockey in Utah for 1 full year until a new team made Utah its home.
Utah, Vasiliev across the line, walks right in, he's in, behind, score!
The Utah Grizzlies moved from Denver and were an instant success. They won the IHL's Turner Cup title in their first season in Utah, sweeping the Orlando Solar Bears thanks to an overtime goal in front of a sold-out crowd at Delta Center, 17,381 fans. Grizzlies have been here for the last 25 years in 3 different leagues. Now a member of the ECHL, they've been 500 or better 19 times and made the playoffs 18 times. Utah was also host to the most-watched hockey game ever, the gold medal game at the 2002 Winter Olympics. It had 27.6 million viewers in the U.S. and 10 million more in Canada. Canada defeated the United States 5-2, their first gold in 50 years. In the 2006 NHL Draft, the LA Kings selected Trevor Lewis with the 17th overall pick, making him the highest drafted Utahn ever. He went on to win 2 Stanley Cups and both times brought the cup to Utah for fans to enjoy.
I was jumping around on the bench. I don't even know what I was doing. I threw my gloves off and I fell coming on the ice. I was so excited. I mean, it's dreaming about this since we were a little kid. It's such an unbelievable feeling.
He just finished his 16th season in hockey. Now a new era of pro hockey in Utah begins. Memories will be made, history created, as Salt Lake City becomes an NHL town. Can't wait for the next chapter. PGA Tour, no one can stop Scotty Scheffler. All he does is win, 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 no matter what. A week after winning his 2nd green jacket, he's running away with the RBC Heritage Classic. That shot's just ridiculous for an Eagle. Rain forcing the conclusion to be played on Monday. Scheffler takes a 5-shot lead into Monday when play resumes.
You know who else who only wins? How about on the LPGA Tour? Nelly Korda. On the final round of the Chevron Championship, one of their majors, this is Nelly Korda on the 8th green. The long birdie putt to open up a 3-shot lead. Then on the 10th, just off the green. How's this for a birdie? Wow. Nice little chip and into the cup. She's at 14 under. Korda wins her 5th straight tournament, which ties Nancy Lopez in 1978 and Annika Sorenstam in 2005 with that record.
We'll be right back.
Oh, that's a bad giveaway from Chicago. It's Chicho Arango. You cannot give him that kind of opportunity.
No, you cannot. LAFC's loss is Real Salt Lake's gain. Chicho Arango continues to consistently find the back of the net with Real Salt Lake. He added 2 more goals Saturday night. His brace part of a 4-0 RSL win against the Chicago Fire. He also contributed to the other goals with assists. Chicho now has 8 goals and 6 assists in 9 matches this season. That's crazy. He leads Major League Soccer in goals and has placed himself in the early MVP conversation. All right, Utah State football was supposed to wrap up spring football Saturday with a spring game, but due to injuries and transfer portal attrition, the team had to settle for a practice instead. The Aggies lost 2 quarterbacks in the last 7 days. Senior Cooper Legat and sophomore McKay Hillstead are into the portal. That left 2 transfers, Bryson Barnes from Utah, of course, and Spencer Petras, the transfer from Iowa. We know Barnes' history with the Utes, 24 career games played, 11 starts, including significant playing time in both Rose Bowl games. But Petras is the one that has caught Anderson's eye. The Iowa transfer has 31 starts in his career and will add to that total this fall in Logan.
That's the nature of quarterbacks. He wanted to be the starter, and when we named Spence the starter last week, we knew that was going to bring about some conversations. Felt like Coop might choose to leave. He's only got 1 year left. We're going to try to help him find a place to go play and get on the field, and we've been very open about that. I didn't expect McKay to leave. I understand why he did.
So the Aggies will be led by Spencer Petras at quarterback this fall. The California native played 6 years of Big Ten football at Iowa. He played in 37 games, 31 starts, a 2011 record as a starter with the Hawkeyes. The Aggies will lean on his experience as they take on a daunting schedule that features USC, Utah, and Washington State.
You know, the way you prep doesn't change at all. Whether you're in a competition or named the starter, you still have to prepare as if you're the starter. I think it's helpful from a leadership standpoint. You know, I can maybe assert myself more knowing that the team knows that I'm the guy. It'll just help our team culture and kind of chemistry, I think, having it named. But my preparation and thoughts for camp and for the season are exactly the same.
The NFL draft is getting closer and closer, just days away now, Sly. And so we bring you back in once again as we break down the opportunity that some of our locals have at potentially hearing their names called on draft day this weekend and taking that next step in their football careers. And today, we want to focus on a couple of local guys that played their college football out of state, had outstanding college careers. And we're going to start off with the Remington Award winner up at the University of Oregon. How about Jackson Powers Johnson from Corner Canyon High School?
This kid is awesome. His development at Oregon was absolutely spectacular. But now he's one of the top O-linemen in this draft, 6'3", 228. He can move, guys. And this guy gets it done in interior. And the biggest thing about him, he's got a mean streak. That's what all you want from your O-lineman is, can you get it done in the trenches? If you love football, you will love watching this guy on tape. Soon as you put on the tape, this guy just moves you. This is against Washington State this year. I'm like, oh, my God. Look at this. Boom!
Yeah,
that's a 300-plus pound D lineman that he just chucked aside. It was absolutely awesome, but then he gets downhill onto the linebacker to second level. We talk about that over the years. How important is for your interior lineman to get to the second level to make it happen? Here, look what he does to the nose tackle. This is another 300-pounder. He's manhandling this guy. But when you put on the tape of Jackson Powers Johnson, you see that time and time again. For me, I am salivating if I'm a GM and an O-line coach. We have to get this guy.
Yeah, it's hard to find the tape on O-lineman, but for Jackson Powers Johnson, it's easy. He stood out, and that's that mean streak you were talking about.
And he does it on pass plays. He does it on run plays. He does it all over the place.
So if you are GM, I mean, we've seen a lot of those mock drafts out there. They really like him going pretty darn early in the draft. What about you, Sly?
It starts up front, and so this guy, for me, I am drafting him in the first round. There is so many teams. I can't put a number on a single team that would be like, I need him over that other guy. He fits into a lot of different teams. We just seen Jason Kelce retire. The Eagles could take him. The Steelers move Nate Herbig out to guard and put this guy here at center position. He is a businessman when it comes to the line of scrimmage. He's the guy I want. This guy is in demand, so I got him going mid to late first round.
Yeah, one of those teams looking for an interior lineman. Late first round, I think you're right. Thursday night, we hear his name off the board. All right, let's move down the line a little bit to the tight end spot. This is a kid who went to high school here, started his collegiate career with BYU. We're talking about Dallin Holker, who finished at Colorado State, but what a finish he had, and he's really put on some good numbers and some good tape heading into the draft.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, first of all, coming out of Lehigh, that's a product.
Right.
They are creating a factory over there, and they do some great stuff. But Dallin Holker is a talented specimen. One, he's just extremely athletic. right? He doesn't have the fastest times, but this guy gets it done. 6'3", 240, perfect weight for your flex tight end. We talked about it last year with Dalton Kincaid. Your wide tight end, your flex tight end. He does that. 4.78, not the greatest 40 time, but you don't need to. But check out this three-cone time.
Right.
6.8. It was the second highest three-cone. So that's great. And so that's up there with the top guys. And for him, and that you got to, can I get open? Can I get open in short spaces, right? If I got a one-on-one with a nickel, if I got a one-on-one with the linebacker, can I get it open? And then things like this. He caught the ball twice. One, he forgot that another ball was coming, so he catches it. Oh, I'm good. Oh, crap. I got to look back. There's another one,
right.
But instinctual. That means I can catch the ball in traffic. But you see, he didn't wear it. He was strong, confident that entire time. Those are things that you want. So you got your tight ends, your F position, your flex guys going over the middle. This guy can do that in traffic. That's the kind of guy you want to rely on.
Yeah, that straight line speed, maybe not the quickest, but like you said, he gets open. He's got that shifty quickness. He's got the hands. He finds his spots, and we see it all on tape.
Yeah, none other than the game against Colorado. The national spotlight was on that game, and this guy went off. Over 100-yard receiving, multiple touchdowns, and was a big factor in why these guys stayed in this football game. But you see time with the catches, and look at him in the open space. He gets it done. He's very instinctual on how to set himself up and get open. And quarterback can throw it in those tight windows and make it happen, and that's what you want. That is extreme value for teams where they were like, geez, this guy can be athletic. He gets off the ball. And right now, the NFL is going through a phase of tight ends. Athletic tight ends who can get the job done. That's Dallin Holker.
If you're taking him in the draft, where do you see him landing?
Man, and the only reason I say he goes a little later on the third day is because he went to Colorado State.
Right.
If he went to all these other schools, I'm picking this guy up on the second day. I take him in the fifth, sixth round to Chicago. You know, a new quarterback in town, you're going to need a new buddy. No co-commits there, but the double tight end, we saw it work in Buffalo. Double teams are needing that. Minnesota, you need double tight ends over there.
All right, I'm excited for it. It's been fun talking about it for several weeks, but now the draft's here. Are you ready for it?
Stop talking. Let's go.
All right, thanks, Leslie. All right, Utah, are you ready for your NHL team? All fans are invited to a free party at Delta Center on Wednesday, 4 p.m. to welcome the team. Free J-Dogs, drinks, snacks, and entertainment.
And it's also a chance to pack the arena to show these players what they're getting here in Utah and give them the welcome they deserve.
You know, the Coyotes, they have a talented young roster. They're led by 25-year-old All-Star Clayton Keller. They also have a stash of draft picks and have the 6th best odds of winning the NHL Draft Lottery. Ryan Smith confirmed that GM Bill Armstrong and head coach Andre Tourigny, they will be retained. Ryan and Ashley also both had a chance to meet the team on Thursday down in Phoenix.
You hear about in business and in teams and leaders, it's all about the people. In this situation, I walked into a room yesterday, I was like, okay, it's just the people. And it's actually a cool parallel to a little bit of Utah. Like, we're doing this in Utah because of the people. And I think we have the best people. And so that's what gives us all confidence to go do it.
Well, that room full of people, the players, coaches, and staff are not only moving hockey operations, but moving families. They're finding new homes. It can't be easy, especially on short notice. But the players we spoke to in Phoenix last week expressed excitement about what the future holds in Utah and the opportunities new ownership and surroundings will provide the team.
They want to do something big there, and there's a plan already set up, and the people there are excited. So
we're all excited to go. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I really like Salt Lake City. We stop every year on the drive in, and I had an Airbnb booked in Sundance for the drive home. So I'm excited for Salt Lake City. I will miss Arizona, but if you're gonna move, it's a good place to go.
A Catch of the Year nominee and one of the wildest NASCAR finishes you've ever seen is next. Talladega 500, we had what a wild finish. I don't even know how to describe this. Going into the final turn, Corey LaJoie finishes the race on the side of his car after a massive crash. Look at this. Watch the wall. Tyler Reddick gets his first career win at Talladega, but what a wild finish to a race.
How about the best video from sports? At least I think. It came from college baseball this weekend. Oakland University outfielder John Lowinger trying to rob the homer out of his glove, but his teammate Reggie Bussey's there to save the day. What a grab. Nice catch. By the way, Oakland, that's in Michigan.